Page 103. Note that these choices are aimed at two classes of users, prospective travelers and book travelers. The last three choices apply only to book travelers. So the visitor's role alone is not enough to distinguish among them. However, on any particular visit, a book traveler will likely to need to complete one of the three tasks. Need recognition is another way of describing the specific task that someone is trying to complete on your landing page. I explored tasks in the user-centered design section in Chapter 3. Desire. The mindset and attention span of the visitor in the desire stage is different from those in the preceding stages. Whereas the attention and interest stages may have lasted only a few seconds, visitors in the desire stage may give you their full attention for minutes or even hours. They are in research mode, and are willing to take more time. With visitors in the desire stage, you get the precious gift of having them spend time on your landing page or website. You have piqued their interest and they are now going to check you out. You are engaged in a subtle seduction, to continue to increase your visitor's desire. Just as in an interpersonal setting, seduction is a tricky and tenuous activity. You can't move too fast without seeming off-putting. Yet we see this all the time on the web. Have you ever visited an e-tailer website, and after being shown some random featured product on the homepage, been instructed to buy it now? This can be seen as premature and inappropriate. So, what should you do instead? Follow these basic rules for building desire, the rules of web desire. Make the visitor feel appreciated. Make the visitor feel safe. Understand that the visitor is in control. Make the visitor feel appreciated. The web allows you to provide your visitors with all kinds of useful information at minimal cost to you. This information, if properly used, can make them feel knowledgeable, powerful, and understood. Make the visitor feel safe. The web is a scary place, and your landing page or website is often a total stranger to your visitors. You must do everything you can to let them get to know you better. It is important to be completely open, honest, and transparent. You must also do everything you can to alleviate their fears, by transferring credibility from others in the form of testimonials, awards, and trust symbols. Understand that the visitor is in control. Visitors should be able to dictate the terms of the relationship with you. This includes the time and scale of the interaction, the order in which things get done, the option to stay anonymous for as long as possible, and the ability to look for information in whatever format is easiest and most appropriate for them. Do you have what the visitor wants? To determine whether you have what they want, a typical visitor will pass formally or informally through several steps: research, compare, get details, customize. Although the following examples are drawn mostly from e-tailing, the principles and steps are the same for all landing pages and websites. Research. Understand what features of the product or service are important to visitors. Rank their importance as must-have, nice-to-have, and non-essential. During the research step, people may have only vague notions of what they want. They are looking for a guide or a knowledgeable expert to help them get oriented. Once they understand the lay of the land better, they can compare the available options against their perceived needs. These needs themselves may undergo change during the research process. As new information becomes available, additional needs may arise. Alternatively, former needs may become irrelevant in light of some new discovery or understanding. As long as your information is useful and objective, you get to define the rules of the game, and can present key features that are a source of competitive advantage and a differentiator for you. This information can be presented in a variety of formats: white papers, informational articles typically used in a business-to-business setting, to educate prospects about important and complex topics; buying guides, articles written to educate consumers about important features and differences among a certain class of products or services; wizards, automated tools that help visitors zero in on the right solution by asking them a series of questions related to their specific task; demonstrations, videos, animations, or presentation slides that showcase a particular product or service. I recently visited Shoes.com in search of new hiking shoes. See Figure 4.5. Their homepage informed me that there were 11,478 types of shoes available in the men's department. I steeled myself for the inevitable slog through dozens of pages featuring endless arrays of tiny thumbnail images and descriptions. Instead, I was guided within seconds by using the narrow by navigation bar highlighted on the left of the page to two specific shoe models that met my needs. See example page 106. The narrow by features included text search, category, brand, size, color filters for new arrivals only and on sale only. Breadcrumbs are normally a navigation aid to show you exactly how you got to the current page within the site and allow you to backtrack and retrace your steps. They are usually displayed based on the static navigation scheme of the website, as documented in its sitemap, a special page with an indented outline view of every other page on the site. As I continued through my narrowing down process, the breadcrumbs at the top of the page changed to match my preferences. See the callout in Figure 4.5. In other words, they adjusted dynamically and did not force me to fit into a single fixed notion of how the site should be navigated. Although the site's functionality is simply an advanced form of search, it is so useful that it qualifies as a wizard for the product selection. Several features combine to make it more powerful than the sum of its parts. Flexible search options. As I mentioned earlier, 6 ways of searching were provided. The only obvious missing search method is price range. Context sensitivity. All of the search options were aware of each other. For example, if I made a choice of brand, and certain sizes were not available, this would be reflected in the shoe size chart. If the search had narrowed to include no on-sale items, the on-sale only option would no longer be shown. This allows for iterative, i.e., incremental drill down and refinement. Order independence. I could choose to use any of the remaining search methods, in whatever order I wanted. There was no rigid search methodology forced on me. Reversible. I could always easily undo any of my prior choices, and re-widen the scope of my search. As I mentioned earlier, the other remaining search options would also reconfigure to show me their available settings in the revised search context. The end result is radically different than simply offering multiple advanced search options on a website. Zappos.com is another online shoe retailer that features a wide selection. On the surface, they also offer an advanced search with seemingly similar options to shoes.com. Within the men's athletic category, I was able to specify shoe size, width, color, and price range. See page 108 image. However, when I selected my options, I got the results shown here. Sorry, no results found. Imagine my frustration. I had wasted my time and gotten nothing for my efforts. I also began to question the breadth of inventory available on Zappos.com. The no results message is cryptic and made me feel stupid, as if I had done something wrong. There was no attempt to salvage the situation and provide me with additional assistance at this critical juncture. I felt like I was on my own. To add insult to injury, I was asked to volunteer for daily email spam every time men's shoes in my size and width became available. My options at this point were to try to figure out how to change my search, to produce some results akin to shooting in the dark, or to do a very general search with lots of results, and laboriously scan them all until I found something useful. There was a third option, and it is always available to even mildly frustrated internet users: punch out and visit a competitor's site instead. It all adds up to an unpleasant brain experience that could have been easily avoided. At every step of the way, shoes.com told me how many products were left within my current search scope. I did not have to specify everything at once, only to be told that I had reached a dead end. I could never be surprised by a no results message because the forward-looking, context-sensitive search options remaining would only display choices that still led to valid results. Some companies make searching so difficult, or do not provide any search functionality at all, that visitors must spend a lot of time looking through seemingly endless, clearly inappropriate search results. The men's athletic category page on Zappos.com features 12,504 items. It is a pretty safe bet that the 12 particular shoes on any given search results page are unlikely to match most people's needs. It is also safe to assume that no one will want to step manually through 1,042 matching results pages by using the previous page and next page links. The proper solution is to detect this information overload situation and help guide the visitor to a smaller number of items before displaying any of them in more detail. You want to provide them with door-to-door service, not drop them off within a few miles of their destination and have them walk the rest of the way. In the previous example, if the number of matching shoes is still above a reasonable threshold, further search refinement should be suggested. If this was the last website on the internet, and their life depended on finding the correct item, then you could expect your visitors to put up with this kind of nonsense. But the reality of the internet is usually the polar opposite. Users have a world of choices, and the items they are searching for are mostly of passing casual interest. The following mock-up screenshot offers Zappos.com an alternative way of dealing with this situation. Visitors are presented with a clear choice, and can still get to the full list of results. But they are not distracted prematurely, and are given the option to narrow the scope of their search. If they choose a refinement from one of the drop-downs below, and the number of matching items is still above the thresholds, they would simply be shown an updated version of this page. The bottom line is that there is no excuse for poor search features. Giving visitors too many choices, and forcing them to wade through them is the web equivalent of being sprayed with a fire hose. Giving them no matching search results is admitting your incompetence in providing useful guidance in helping visitors to narrow their choices. Is it slightly more difficult and time-consuming to provide thoughtful support during the search step? Of course it is. But you must do it to avoid a huge drop in conversion rate. Check out alternative solutions or products to see how they stack up against the previously determined feature set. Once visitors have been educated about the desirable features of the product or service, they usually find more than one acceptable alternative. The key must-have features have all been satisfied. So the decision to narrow their choice does not depend on these previously considered features. They need additional tiebreakers, although these may be secondary or even tertiary in their ultimate importance. But, in the absence of the primary selection criteria, they serve as differentiators. Giving as much side-by-side detailed information during this step is critical. This is usually done in the form of a comparison matrix. Because comparison sites are specialized and focused on this step, they obviously play an important role and have a definite advantage in influencing the ultimate decision. They fulfill one of the ultimate promises of the internet, aggregating the full range of choices for a particular industry or product type, and helping to guide consumers. Most comparison sites also cover the research and desire steps, and seamlessly hand off to the ultimate recommended e-retailer or service provider. There are two ways that comparisons can be skewed: choice of features, and choice of competitors. We have all seen television car commercials, and we know that the comparison features are handpicked and skewed in favor of the advertiser's product, e.g., our car costs $1,000 less and has 4 more cup holders. Internet consumers are generally too sophisticated or cynical to fall for heavy-handed approaches like this. They are used to getting detailed objective information, and can find it in a variety of places. To compete with comparison sites, single brand or single product sites must duplicate this deep and detailed content on their websites. Better yet, they can get the objective information from a trusted third party, and feature the source prominently, to lend extra credibility to their data. Include a wide range of realistic competitors. If possible, allow the selection of more than one competitor in your matrix. For many marketers, the comparison step represents an internal tug of war. The instinct to carve out a competitive advantage through information hoarding or bias slanting is strong. Yet this is exactly the wrong impulse for the internet and must be consciously resisted. Internet consumers are often more knowledgeable about products and services than the so-called experts who sell them. Some online marketers also live on a steady diet of self-inflicted in-house brainwashing and propaganda. They actually believe that their products really are the world-class leader in their category. The consumer does not labor under this delusion. In fact, they seek out not only objective data and reviews, but also the opinions of third-party experts and existing users of a particular product or service. Many online marketers would be shocked to find that their precious product claims are regularly savaged in online forums, discussion groups, and special interest communities. Much of this criticism is well-deserved, and as you will see in the next chapter should be looked at as a source of ideas for improvement. Comparison information must be complete, objective, and easily digested by your target audience. The conclusion is unavoidable: if you don't provide support during the crucial comparison step, then your competitor or some other influencer will. Get details. Make sure that you understand everything about the total experience with the chosen product or service. Once visitors select a product or service from a list of finalists, they want to make sure that they are making the right decision. At this step, even more detailed information should be provided, including detailed description, feature specifications, compatibilities, standards, compliance, minimum requirements, configuration options, available service levels, photos, diagrams, accessories and suggested add-ons, third-party media reviews and endorsements, user reviews and client testimonials, case studies or survey results, suggested alternative products, delivery and setup options, shipping, installation, service plans and customer care levels, accurate costs and payment terms, availability, and in-stock status. Niche product or service sites often provide extensive information on their product detail pages. A perfect example is specialty e-tailer Jogging Stroller.com. The site features many of the top brands of baby strollers, and simple help the visitor choose guides to identify the right one. The product detail pages are chock full of information that will help visitors make a good decision: detailed staff-written reviews, pricing, shipping costs, specs, features, pictures of all available color choices, suggested upgrades, accessories, alternative competitive models, and extensive reviews from actual customers with ratings of how helpful other visitors found each one. It is important to provide complete and objective information, even if this means reporting something negative. Chances are if someone is going to do their homework about your product or service on the web, they will run across the negative information anyway. By presenting it yourself, you are seen as more trustworthy. You also have the opportunity to frame the concern on your own terms, and partially mitigate its impact. The user reviews are especially useful, because they provide insights about real-world use in situations that a first-time buyer may not have considered. The reviews are not always flattering, but unless they are clearly inappropriate or offensive, they should be left on your site. Having negative reviews shows a well-rounded picture, and indicates that the information on the site is more or less unfiltered and therefore more trustworthy. When user reviews or other forms of user-generated content reach critical mass on those kinds of sites, they can serve as a defensible barrier to entry against other competitors, who may only feature stock descriptions or specs from the product manufacturer. Customize by configuring or personalizing a product or service to your particular needs or circumstances. You are mentally envisioning yourself enjoying its benefits, and maybe nearing the action stage. Once visitors have decided on a particular product or service, they should be given the opportunity to customize it. By personalizing the solution to their specific needs, they are vicariously trying it on for size. This gets visitors involved in imagining exactly how they might use it in the future. Personalization and configuration put visitors in control and create momentum toward the action stage. The laptop configurator on the Sony website www.sonystyle.com allows me to choose from a deep list of options: CPU, memory, hard drive, optical disk drive, display, TV tuner, operating system, wireless local area network, battery, pre-installed software, music software, photo software, video software, finance software, other software, and service plan. A number of available accessories can also be added: adapters, batteries, carrying cases. I even chose 2 lines of text that will actually be engraved above the screen. The exact price is totaled after every change. The monthly financing option is displayed along with the estimated shipment date. Estimated tax and shipping cost are optionally shown if I enter my zip code. Action. Desire and action are not really distinct stages, but rather a continuing give and take. Increasing desire pulls us to take successively larger steps toward the ultimate conversion goal. Each of these steps is in itself an action. After each action, we build on its momentum to create enough desire to jump to the next level of action and commitment. Even if your website can answer the "do you have what I want?" question in the affirmative, you still have to get past the "should I get it from you?" hurdle. Some additional desire is usually needed to propel us through the ultimate conversion transaction. Should the visitor get it from you? Before I move to action, I must believe that I have found the right solution for my needs, and also that I have found a reasonable and trustworthy company to deal with. Notice that I did not say the best company. As you will soon see, this is not a prerequisite for transacting. Finding the best solution, and finding the best provider for that solution, are largely independent decisions. Just because you have gone to great lengths to help visitors research, compare, review, and customize a good solution does not mean that they will buy it from you. Especially if the item in question is a commodity, or widely available from a number of online and offline sources, many people will comparison shop to find the best price and terms. There is growing evidence that online consumers are getting savvier, and that the median online purchase times for many industries are steadily increasing because of comparison shopping. There are claims by some that the internet will eventually subsume every offline category and transform it. This is hyperbole. However, some industries and activities are certainly more internet-friendly. These are usually the ones where detailed and formally restricted information is the key to a buyer's decision. Real estate has experienced this onslaught. 2 information-related tasks have gotten much easier with the wide adoption of the internet: finding a property and arranging for the financing. Secret multiple listing service books (MLSs) containing all for sale houses were once the exclusive purview of licensed real estate agents. Now consumers can sign up on comprehensive national websites and be instantly notified when a new property matching their needs hits the market. The time-consuming, paperwork-intensive process required to arrange for a mortgage loan has also been streamlined by online applications. Formerly standard 6% commission rates have fallen as discount brokers and agents have proliferated. These discount brokers are simply offering more abbreviated and streamlined services to sophisticated consumers who have already done the hard work of finding potential properties and who arrive with their pre-approved financing already in hand.